Not miss this jacket. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Again, Wednesday, November 7th, 2018. I am with the beautiful real estate guru lady to my left, Deb Fischbach.
Thank you.
Deb Fischbach. I had to literally practice that in my head 700 times. So let us know you can hear us or see us because she's got a great story. She's got a lot to say. She's very charismatic and energetic, and I love, love, love that. So I see some people popping on, so give us a thumbs up. Oh, Lauren Bell's on, of course.
Thank you.
But I think we're going to get some, I've done, hey Mike, what's up? Michael Brodsky's on.
Hi, Mike.
I did a show once where I went the entire 30 minutes and people watched and nobody told me they couldn't hear me. So that's why I always say that. So Michael, let us know you can hear us. It would be lovely. Maybe Lauren, if you let us know you can hear us. We can just start talking though, because people are shy about this sometimes. All right, so tell us a little bit about you. I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I love your energy. I love your personality. I love pretty much everything about you, and we have this crazy connected history as it is, which makes me giggle on a whole bunch of different levels. But welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, I was born literally down the street at Orange Memorial Hospital.
That's right. What do they call it now?
Orlando
Health?
I'm still calling it Orange Memorial Hospital.
It's always going to be Orange Memorial to me.
Then I went to Edgewater, went off to FSU, and got married. My family had a dude ranch in Lake Wales, and that was really awesome. And then after that, we sold it. So I was kind of fumbling around. I volunteered, gave a lot of my energy, and I loved giving back to Orlando and the Animal Society and nonprofit. It was so awesome. But I always really loved Orlando real estate, but never did it.
So tell me, I've got to ask you, I've never asked anybody this question. What is a dude ranch?
Oh, well,
What do you do on a dude ranch?
You ride horses.
Okay, so it's a place where people go and they enjoy the outdoors.
Right. We had 500 acres with horses, so basically a summer camp. And then I taught jazzercise at all around Orlando. So I'd bring my jazzercise class.
You've taught. Do they still have jazzercise?
Yes,
they do.
It's still awesome. And so I would bring my students and other jazzercise places, and we would teach jazzercise and ride horses and just have a fantastic time.
I love
that's a dude ranch, and
that's
you should go.
That's a dude ranch.
It's a dude ranch.
It's outdoors,
and girls are dudettes.
Girls are dudettes. I'd probably be the dudette.
No,
there's no bar there, right?
You'd be the
Deb,
dude.
Yes. Be the dude.
Well, no, it was all good, all healthy.
So you have children.
Yep, 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah.
Well, I think our kids went to school together.
Yeah,
for a little bit. Your son's a little older than my daughters.
We don't need to go into details.
No, you were a baby when you started having children. That's always the thing we say. But your children went to Lake Highland.
They did.
Yeah, it was a fantastic school.
Yes, thank you.
My daughters cheered. So
well,
we had a blast. They still love it. They still have all their friends. I love everything about them growing up. I know. I held a baby the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, I could do this again. I'm ready to be a grandparent.
How about just a puppy?
No, I have a dog.
Okay.
All right. So talk about how you got into real estate, though. So you've loved it, and you were on the periphery.
Okay.
But how did you actually make it so this is what you're doing?
Well, a year and a half ago, my very awesome dad had a stroke, and I did not want him to go to a nursing home, so I took him in and took care of him I had 3 months. So during that time, I got super depressed. Day 4, I couldn't leave the house. I was homebound. I was 24/7 taking care of my dad, and Brock, my son, came in the house and said, "Mom, why are you look terrible. You're depressed. Why? You need to do something." And I said, "No, I'm very, very busy taking care of your grandfather. I am cooking. I don't have time to do anything. I'm volunteering. I am the busiest person you know." And Brock said, "Give me your credit card." I'm like, "What?" So he sat down and Googled real estate exam, just out of the blue. And because I always talk about real estate, we've been going to open houses since we were all just little.
They used to be so much fun.
And they still are.
I know.
They still are. So I would drag them to every open house. I know every single house, who owned what house, who moved here and there. I just loved it. So Brock took my credit card, mine, and like did some random real estate class. He goes, done. You have 3 months to get your real estate license. I can't.
Had you talked about it before with them and
No,
said, so he
no.
just decided that you had this passion.
He was the bad son.
Apparently he was the really good son, honestly, because he got you to do it.
Well, he used my credit card, so I had skin in the game, right?
That's correct. And you also, so talk about this, because I think people go, oh, that's why she's so fantastic at real estate. It came naturally to her. You've shared with me about the exam, so tell them about that.
So I studied so hard. I studied. So I passed. You had to do a little online test. So I got my license to go take the state exam. So I studied, Ted. Oh my gosh. I studied. I knew it. And then as I'm driving up, my palms got sweaty. I literally could hardly walk up the stairs. Now it's taking a big state exam. There's people taking all sorts of testing in there. They look underneath your hair. They check your arms to see if you're cheating. I mean, it was very intimidating. So I sat down. The screen came up. I froze. I knew that stuff going on. I froze. So when you pass or failed right after you take the test.
Tell about the 2 pages versus 1 page. I
Don't
love
get
this
my
story.
right.
It was my favorite.
I look out the window and you can see the fax machine. And I knew if 2 pieces of paper came out of the fax machine, you failed. The second page tells you what, like you need to work on law, you need to work on math, blah, blah, blah. So I stood up and looked at the fax machine. 2 faxes came out. I'm like, oh gosh. So they tell you, you see your score, and you have to have a 75. I had a 63. Okay, man up. Nothing's going to nothing's going to take me down, and nothing's going to stop me from following my dreams. And so I didn't tell anyone, just Brock and my other son. So I studied so hard. My kids came over and tutored me in the math. So sign up, go take that test again. I'm there. Finish. 2 pieces of paper come out of that.
See, that's the part that makes my heart. It's terrible.
Well, you have to just face your fears. I mean, what's the worst?
Yeah, but tell them what score you got.
Okay, shh. So, what did I get? I got a 63.
Again, she should play those numbers on the lotto.
I didn't even get a 64. So, it was just maddening. So, I'm like, okay, nothing's going to stop me. So, I studied and studied and studied. I'd wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, study till my dad woke up at 7, take care of Dad. Dad would take a nap. I'd go back, take the test again. And I look at the fax machine. I see those 2 faxes coming through. I'm like, oh, what was the score? 63.
Seriously, that is your lucky number, I guess. I don't know what number that is.
My kids were like, Mom, you couldn't even get like a 64.
How about a
65?
Actually, I'd rather see you get a 62 or a 64, but not a 63 again.
Okay, so I'm like, I listened to so many motivational tapes. Nothing was going to get me down because this was like my passion. I was going to do it. I was laser focused. So I'm like, I can do this.
Well, doesn't it tick you off at that point? You're like, you're not going to beat me.
No.
You're not going to win.
I was okay. I knew I could take it as many times as I wanted to.
Correct.
And it was no one's business. It was my goal. I was going to achieve it. If I had to take it 15 times, so
you were going to do it.
I was going to do it because you can't squish me down. Okay? So I go back, study so hard. If I hear another real estate term or another law term, I have to do math one more time. So I sit down, I'm like, I got this. So the answers were like illuminated. I mean, they were like glowing. It was so easy.
You had your aha moment. It was there.
Like, everything. I'm like clicking, 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 clicking. And so I hit submit. I looked at that fax machine. 1 piece of paper came out,
Yay!
and I ran up there and I did the ugly cry and jumped up and down because they don't know how many times I've taken
Right, they don't know.
Right, and then I started, and then I've been doing real estate for a year and about 4 months.
You're relatively
I'm
new,
really green. I'm really green, and I capped. Which, if you're in real estate, that's a really
a
awesome
big
thing.
deal.
And so I'm so happy. But if anyone has any dreams or anything in their life that's holding you back because you're afraid to fail, please please just do it. Just
Where
do
did you get
whatever
that
it is.
spirit from? So that's an indomitable spirit. So how do you get that where you're like, okay, I am just determined? Were you raised that way, or is that something that was internal with you?
It was a mission, and I was not going to.
Did you approach all life things like that? Have you always been like that?
Everything's been easy for me. I've always been like a great jazzercise teacher and a good tennis player, and just everything's been easy. This was really, really, really challenging.
Sure.
But it's the best thing. If one person can just do something and not give up, you have to be very focused and determined, and no is not an option. No, I was.
Now, did you have naysayers around you that said,
yes.
You know, you shouldn't do it,
Yes.
Deb?
Oh, yeah.
Because
No.
we talked a little bit
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
So people always ask me, like, how do you surround yourself with people who are for, we did a whole show. Just because they're with you doesn't mean they're for you. So you want to be around people who are actually for you. They're not just hanging out with you. And if you have your naysayers all around, it can be very difficult sometimes to get past that. So if you had the naysayers around, people want to know, how do you maneuver through that? How do you get past it and break through? That was timing.
It was not me.
Woo!
Woo!
I loved it.
Naysayers. I don't have any naysayers. I just let them go, and I give them a big hug and move on. No, that's never.
How do you do that, though? I think people really very much want to be able to let people go out of their lives that are naysayers. And I love that you're saying it. You're making it sound like it's easy, which I'm going to tell you it actually is. So when you finally get to that point where you want to let people go, you can hug them, like Deb said, love them. You want to wish them well, but you just don't want them in your life in that capacity because it brings you down.
Well, I'm not around people like that.
I love it.
I don't like people like you and all my supporters and just new people. No, there's no room for any naysayers.
Do you think that one of the topics was, you came up with it, what's stopping you? Do you think that people in your life are one of the things that stop people from moving to the next level?
Absolutely.
And do you see it, like, how do you, because I see people a lot that I can tell that they're stuck or stagnant because of the people they surround themselves with, and that's the only voice that they hear all the time is naysay, negative, bad, you're not good enough, Deb, you're not good enough, Ted. And I feel like they just get stuck in that and they don't know how to break out of it.
I'm not around people like that.
I love
I'm not.
that.
And with YouTube, you can listen in the morning to motivational tapes. When you're driving in your car, I go to bed at night with my earbuds in about just being happy and content and being successful. I will say, back to real estate, that this is a question that I think that maybe you're going to ask me, but I'm
sure I will, but you go right ahead and ask and answer.
If you were picking a doctor, you're not going to ask your doctor, what class ranking were you in when you were going to medical school? Or your lawyer, were you the top in your class? No, you're going to pick your doctor or your lawyer on someone that has a good table, a bedside manner, that cares, and is going to like jump on to Ted. And like, if you have a problem, your person that you pick is going to help you.
Right.
And I know when I'm out door knocking and talking about my open house, it's 100 degrees outside, and these people are like, Deb, you're out here door knocking? I'm like, yes, I am. And if I list your house, that's what I'm going to do. And so that was kind of my question that I was going to have you ask me.
What do you do?
No, how do you stay on top of it? And how do you pick like a real estate agent, or how do you pick a doctor? You pick someone that's going to take your best interests at heart and never give up. You're not going to ask them, you're not going to say, Deb, how many times did it take you to pass the real estate
No, but it's
exam?
a great story.
Yeah, it is, but a lot of people said don't share that.
I find that interesting. So a lot of people it's because those people are afraid of showing their vulnerability and their authenticity. Right. And I feel like people underestimate the value of being honest, being vulnerable, and sharing
sincere.
that.
And like, I am just me. That's it. I do wear heels, and I close deals in heels.
Close deals and heels. I like that.
I do.
We were talking earlier about heels. Do you wear the big stilettos, or you wear the?
I like a chunky one because I am out hustling. So
I had to learn, because I did walk a mile in her shoes a few years in a row. I had to learn about the chunky heel, because that got me through the 1 mile I had to walk on Orange Avenue. I thought I was going to die.
How'd that work for you?
It's fantastic. It was a big, what do they call the ones that have the...
Stilettos.
It's not. It's the ones that have the big heels that are thick.
Chunky?
Chunky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, by the way, Lauren Bell is behind the camera.
She's my biggest supporter.
She's the best. We love her. We're so happy to have her here. And we are all drinking, well, I'm not. I'll say. I'm drinking. Oh, good. See, we did it. There's a Bogart Blossom that debuted today at the Citrus Club, so you definitely want to come down and taste that. What do you do? How about your kids? So, are they? Your son obviously had some super insight, which I think is a really cool thing. And so he had skin in the game. He was like, Mom, you have to do this. No, he didn't have skin in.
He took my credit card.
But he's like, Mom, you need to do this.
Oh yeah, it was not open for discussion.
How did they get that way? And are they still part of your? Are they part of your business? And how does that work?
Well, Brock, the oldest one, lives in Boston. He's just my moral supporter and very cheerleader and positive. And then Blaze, the youngest, is a personal injury lawyer. So if I fall off my heels while I'm door knocking, then I have coverage.
What do you want to do long term? You obviously you're a year into real estate, a little over a year. Do you see yourself becoming a broker, a business owner? Do you want to do something in addition to real estate, residential real estate? Tell us what your ultimate goals are, some of your end goals.
Well, I love listing houses, so that if I get a listing, I'm just so honored and so grateful, and that's like my baby, and I'm going to do everything I can to sell your house. So I would love to have a team with other agents to help me. That's my goal. No, I don't want to be a broker. I love my brokerage now. But I want a team.
Who are you at? We didn't even ask.
Keller Williams at the Parks.
That's right.
Yes.
Denise is your?
Yes.
Denise LaHope.
Yes. Yeah.
I have not seen her in ages, but that's great. So she's very supportive of her agents. Do you feel like, so if you're building a team, one of the things we talked about earlier, the last show with the Funks, is about collaboration. So sometimes when you're building a team, you always have to make sure that the team is in line with what your environment you want to create. So are you in the process of now trying to bring on, and is team even a legal word?
Yeah.
Okay, you can say team.
Yeah,
I mean, they changed all the rules lately.
It could be a posse.
It could be, I like a posse. She called hers a collection. I love that.
No, that's like jewelry. No, I like a posse.
You could be a posse.
That's what I'm gonna start.
But you have to talk a little bit about that, because I feel like you definitely have an idea of who you want to collaborate with, who you want to work with, and how do you establish that and then find the people? Because I would imagine that's sort of the same way with your clients, with your borrowers and sellers. I mean, not every borrower and seller is a good match for the realtor that they're with.
Correct.
And so how do you
find your posse?
How do you do that? Yes. How do you kind of negotiate through that and figure out this person's good for me, this particular person?
You just know. You don't overthink it. You just know in your gut.
Don't overthink it.
You just know. You know.
And so what do you do? What if somebody doesn't fit? I think a lot of people want to know that. And the reason why is because they don't know how to say no. They don't know. They know what they want, but they're always afraid to hurt somebody's feelings. And my comment always to them is, you don't want to hurt their feelings, but then you want to be in a relationship with someone you don't like to work with. Like, why would you want to do that to yourself?
Right. That's not even anything I'd even worry about.
So you are very, you're Maslow's hierarchy. You're like up here on the whole real estate world, I feel like. She's self-actualized. But a lot of people want to know how you get there.
Well, you just surround yourself with positive people and great energy, and they don't have to wear heels either. I know that's what you're thinking. Right.
Listen, it's good to ask these questions and put that out there, because I think people, they watch the show a lot and they go, oh my God, Jason says hi. Jason. They're like, oh, I don't know if I could be Deb. Well, you don't have to be Deb. The whole point is that you have to kind of listen to what she's saying and maybe follow some of that or implement it in your own life, in your own business world, in what you're trying to accomplish. And I think that is a challenge and a struggle for a lot of people.
Well, something I just don't even want to tango with.
I love it. So she doesn't even engage in that stuff. What do you do for fun?
Well, I play a lot of tennis.
That's why she's in great shape, folks, if you can't tell.
I'm not great at anything. I'm good at everything.
Nice.
So, how's that?
I like it.
And I go to yoga for my peace of mind.
Nice. I always am afraid of going to yoga because I'm either going to get stuck and the EMTs are going to have to come get me, or that hot yoga thing that I'm like,
yoga.
What am I? Why would I want to torture myself to sweat?
It's awesome. It's detoxing. You can just
Oh my
wring
God,
your
there's
hair
not
out.
enough heat to detox me.
Well,
honest to God.
baby steps. Baby steps.
But you have to do things. What about charitable stuff? What do you do?
Well, I was working with 10,000 Villages. It's a nonprofit fair trade on Park Avenue that gives opportunities for artists in developing countries to share their goods and wares. And then I really love Orange County Animal Services for the dog shelter. So, and the cats are good too. So.
What pets do you have?
I have a golden doodle.
Oh, they're
that's
so sweet. They're
lovely.
sweet babies.
And
And non-allergenic. They're
no,
awesome.
And she doesn't shed, so I can wear black.
Nice, nice. I've got the golden retriever.
No, they shed.
And they shed. I love him, but they shed so much. What do you want people to know about if they want to get into business, they want to get into real estate? Detoxing is important, Francis. That's funny. And I'm not going to acknowledge that anymore. That's funny as heck. What do you want people to know as far as, let's say somebody says, you know what, I want to get into real estate, or I want to invest in real estate, or I want to open my own business. What kind of advice would you give them in this market?
We are fortunate that we are in Orlando. So any real estate in Orlando is going to be a great investment. We're in Orlando, people.
I know.
We are not in Timbuktu, and there's nothing wrong with Timbuktu. We are in Orlando. It is growing so big. Everyone wants to move to Orlando. Who would look at the weather outside today?
It's so pretty.
It's
you guys
perfect.
can't see it because we have to have the camera this way, but it's so beautiful.
So real estate in Orlando is a great investment. You could buy properties and use them as rentals, because rental properties are going like that. So there's lots of great opportunities to buy something and use it as rental properties. Just think of your children. Later on, they'll have that in their portfolio when dad's gone, and forever they'll be getting that rental check forever. So I would recommend buying some properties. Even if you don't need a house, call me. We'll find you some investment properties, and then we'll hook you up with a real estate firm and a rental agency and get you rentals. And as far as, I forgot the rest of your question.
No, I just wanted to know what people want to get advice from someone who's obviously successful. You're new in the business, but you're successful in it now. And they kind of want to know your path. They want to know what you do differently maybe, and what you did that you really think is important.
Well, I would say, if you are thinking about getting into real estate, you just can't tap your toe in it. You have to jump all in. All in. You can't do it half. Am I allowed to cuss?
Of course.
Half-ass. It's all in, or you're not going to be successful. I work 7 days a week, and every day I get up, I'm like, what? It's like the best day. It's so
I love it, right? I know.
Every day is a great. I learn so much. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate, do it. But be focused and do it.
I agree.
If you're thinking about not getting into real estate and you want some rental properties, call me. We'll get you some houses, and you can have like your family estate will be building up. And second of all, or third of all, just do whatever makes you happy, but do it 100%.
It's true, right? You just go all in. Dive in. All right, so we're going to share, you can't miss this jacket. We're going to share all of Deb's contact information, how you can reach out to her. She's obviously accessible. She's willing to listen to you. Even if you're in real estate, you're thinking about real estate, whatever it is, reach out to her, and we'll share all that when we share the show. Any parting words of wisdom for them, anything you want to share with them before we head out?
Just follow your passion and your dream, and don't get those roadblocks. We all have roadblocks. We all have hiccups. So you have to just go over them and don't stop. I mean, it's nothing secret. It's just don't go crying. Man up.
Man up. That's going to be the hashtag. Put on your big girl panties, Lauren Bell says, and your high heels.
Yeah.
All right, you've been a joy to have on. Thank you, Deb.
Thank
you,
you,
Lauren, for bringing Deb up. I love it when you guys are both here. We love you guys so much. I've got a big event tonight on the boat with Aaron Luden and my whole Freedom Mortgage team, the home team. But we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll see you. We love you guys. Cheers. Mwah. See you soon.